Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome everybody, another Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. We got another amazing energy scan show going on, and we've got somebody who's got incredible levels of love, compassion, steel and fire in her soul, and strength that she brings to other people, that raises their energy, that increases their soul connection, increases their results. And today we're going to do some energy scanning to tune into her vibration, just like I just did, and much deeper, of course, as well, and take a look at her business as well, because, you know, she's done incredible things, and she's kind of evolving and or shifting some things and going to her next level of her own soul leadership in her world and in her life. So anyway, so I'm getting so caught up in the energy here. I'm just so excited. We're going to get all into it in just one moment.
Want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate, Make Money meditation today.
So, Kim, it's just so awesome to have you here. It's like my words are almost leaving me. I'm so excited.
Your energy and enthusiasm is awesome. Like, I feel like, wow, I just got a big blast of adrenaline, and it's just your passion. I can just feel your passion. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So let's go ahead and share with everybody a little bit more about you. Now, Kim Nishida is a best-selling author, entrepreneur, foster dog mom, Grand Canyon hiker, and introvert, which, oh my God, yeah, me too, who has overcome a lifetime of shame, people-pleasing, feeling less than enough, overachieving, and self-sabotage. Oh, I'm sure nobody can relate to that stuff, so give me a break. Oh my God, like you're just an answer prayer with what you have to share with people. She's passionate about helping fellow life travelers get serious about the stories that no longer serve them so they can peel away those false layers of identity that keep them stuck, trapped, dissatisfied. She's been a certified coach since 2003. She is the founder of As the Crow Flies, Intuitive Arts and Soul Connection Club. And so we're thrilled to have her here today. She's changed so many lives. She's lived so many lives in this lifetime as well. She's also worked in the marketing publicity department of a publishing house in San Francisco, directed the fitness department at UC Berkeley. That's fun. And she's been an entrepreneur since 2003, managed several multi-million-dollar online launches. So some of those big launches, hey, but she might have been behind one of those. Trained in animal communication and energy healing, overcame a lifetime of unworthiness to speak from the stage in Atlanta, and started more than one six-figure business from scratch. So that's what she's got it all. So, all right. Okay, Kim. So glad again to have you here. It's fun for me. Like I don't know all your background, but just from what you shared with me, it's fun to meet with people who are sort of like the secret sauce behind some other people's success, right? And then it's like, hey, wait a minute, I'm getting out in front. I'm going to be leading the way now, and to see people see you making this transition is really incredible. I'm so grateful you're making this decision and you've created this new business, and we're going to get into talking about that today. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely been a big transition and journey and evolving. The name of my company, actually my parent company, is Ready to Evolve, which I formed that company in 2003. And I feel like ever since I formed that company, I've just been evolving. Like it's just been this never ending journey. So yeah, it's interesting and scary and exciting.
So tell us a little bit about you talk about again, from what I know, I haven't thoroughly researched every aspect of your business or anything yet. We're going to get into a little bit today, but you talk about soul leadership, soul leaders. What guided you to go from someone who's like doing these multi-million-dollar launches, helping people to do that, to wanting to do your own thing and to help people with their stepping into their soul leadership more fully.
Yeah, Daniel, it's just what I am feeling called to do. I think I've probably been called to do this for a good many years, and I just ignored the call, right? Like, I'm like, that's not me. There's no way that's going to happen. And so to the point where, in my previous businesses, I would form successful businesses, but they weren't the right business for me, because I would, instead of listening to the call of my soul, I was listening to what other people, mentors and such people like that, told me was a smart, logical business to grow. And it wasn't the right one for me. So it always ended up, it would work for a certain period of time. And then it was just like soul crushing. Like, it was just like, I would wake up like with a just nauseous every morning. You just know when it's not right, and you're still continuing down that path. And I couldn't do it anymore. So this is like, okay, I'm taking that leap of faith and surrender. And I know it's right. I know it's what I'm meant to do.
Right. Yeah, it's whatever it is in our lives, whether it's a big shift like this that you're making, and many others are listening, are trying to make those shifts right now and feeling like, but I can't. Maybe they have the golden handcuffs wherever they are in their career or business, or it just seems like, I don't know if I could do that, or if it's going to work, creating this kind of business or something. But I'll just say this, and then I'd love to hear your perspective. But like you, because you've had other businesses, even if they weren't fully satisfying, but it's like, you got to do the thing everybody says you got to. You do have to walk the invisible bridge. The bridge will show up when you're willing to have the faith and trust, because that's how, God, universe, whatever works. It's like, show us you actually trust us, so to speak. There is no us, but you know what I mean? That you trust the thing itself, or whatever you want to call it. Show us you trust it, and then we will perform all kinds of miracles. You show us you don't trust it, yeah, we'll try to give you what we can, but you're not too receptive, right? So like,
right.
Isn't that all part of the keys, right? To be able to make these leaps.
It's, and it's trust. You could talk about trust in the universe, the powers that be, however you want to phrase it, but it's ultimately, for me, it's coming down to trust in myself. It's coming down to that unconditional love for myself, which no one else can give me, right? So that's when, because I can say to myself, all right, I'm standing in the center of the room, I've hit rock bottom, I'm surrendering. But if I'm still not loving myself, and I think that I don't deserve or are worthy of help from the powers that be, it's not going to work, right? And I'll also say too, like, even when I was taking these, like, I'm at the crossroads, the fork in the road, and soul is saying turn right, and I'm like, I'm going to turn left because it seems safer and it's all lit up and I could see where that path is leading me. It still was the right path for me. Like, I see how that has helped me along the journey to prepare me for where I am now. So, I feel like we're always being led. And even when there are times where we're clearly, and there have been times where I've clearly like had conversations, I don't know if this has ever happened for you, where you're like, you hear your intuition or you hear your guides or somebody giving you this message, and you're like, I had a conversation one time, I'm like, okay, yeah, I hear you, and I'm going to go take this other path, which is never ends well in my experience. It's just like, but it's just part of our human condition. I think it's just kind of how we learn and how we grow, kind of like kids, right? You kind of have to let them learn their own lessons in some ways, right?
Yeah, listening to the intuition, I got to imagine in your work is a huge aspect of how you help people, right? And
totally.
So, even me, like someone that teaches people how to tune into people and energy scanning, into their field and chakras or whatever, everything, potentially. But it's like, even me, like, it can be a tricky, it's simple and it's easy to listen to your intuition. Yet again, it can be tricky because sometimes I'm one of those people by human design, they say, oh, your sacral chakra, you can know it instantly, just go to your sacral. But I've also had my same teacher tell me, yeah, but it works better if you have someone else ask you the questions though, and then you go from your sacral. And so it's like, you see what I mean? Like it can get tricky sometimes. We think we're following our guidance.
Yeah.
maybe we kind of are, but is it the highest guidance, right? So it's like, it can be, I can really say that it's simple, but it can get a little tricky. And for me anyway, it's like, there's no just one. For me, for some people that have one way they do it. Like I do totally listen to my sacral, but I also will listen to all the other sensations I'm feeling too. I mean, my sacral's saying yes, but my heart's saying no, or my gut's saying no, or what. Like I listen to am I feeling settled in my body? Do I feel like maybe there's a reason maybe not to say yes to this, or like that feels connected. I listen to that too. So it could be interesting. So how do you, I'm curious, because I know you work with this, how do you support people and be able to know like what their true intuition is telling them?
Well, one of my favorite tools is curiosity. And you said a really good question. Like, this would be a really good curious question, because you're like, well, I know it's my, I can't remember exactly how you phrased it now. You're like, I know it's my my guidance, but is it my highest guidance? And so that would be an awesome question to ask. Is this my highest guidance? Is this for my highest good? And, just getting into more questions and leaning into it, because, when you're in the monkey mind is going to do a lot of justification and like rationalization and comparison, all these things. And intuition, the guidance doesn't do that. They're not going to give you all the reasons why you should do something, right? They're just like, they present this thing to you. Well, although I will say I know some people with guides who are very sassy, who are very
do that thing. All right.
Yeah, but they're not going to, go debate back and forth with you typically. And so it's like getting to know your own guidance, your own intuition, what that sounds like once you really tap into that. And I think we forget, it happens to me. Like on a daily basis, I will forget, like, oh yeah, I should have checked in yesterday when I was freaking out about the, whatever it happened to be, whatever question I had in my mind that I had a lot of anxiety and stress about. Why didn't I check in? So it's really getting into know that voice, and then have some good questions to ask, instead of just, because I think we feel like we should just innately know the answer. And it's like, no, you just start to question and lean into and trust the answers. I think that's not what we're taught in school, right, as we're growing up. We're taught to look outside for answers versus within.
Right. It's the pro and cons list, right? I did so many of those when I was younger. Like, okay, let's look at the pros and the cons. And how do you think I made my decision at the end? It wasn't so much the pros and cons. It was my intuition anyway. Like, okay, I just want to do anyway. Like, okay, let me do that. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with pros and cons if you want to do it that way. But ultimately it comes down to your intuition. Like maybe it helps you to land with your intuition. I don't know, but yeah, we all have our own process, I think. And there's some things that might more universally work better for people overall, but people say just follow your heart. But yeah, people do a lot of things where they follow their heart and they end up going down a manhole or something, like you gotta listen to everything.
Well, I think that I totally agree with you. Like once you find a method that works for you, like really dig into it and lean into it. That's your tool, that's your go-to, and know that it can change. Like I've experienced myself, like that things have changed and evolved, and you just kind of have to go with it instead of like clutching really tightly onto, but that tool was really working. Well, it's not working as well now, or whatever, or here's this new way of connecting, and just being open. I think that's kind of where I just try to see the journey. So we're all each on our own journey. I try to see it all as this wonderful discovery versus this really hard, unwinnable game. And I think that the whole notion of winning is also kind of tricky and perilous too, because winning denotes that there must be some rules. There must be certain rules to follow. And if I follow those rules, I'm going to win. But it's like the rules are different for everybody. You're not going to, your journey's not the same. My journey's not the same as yours, right? You're a very different person than me. So if I just said, hey, Daniel, tell me exactly your tools and I'm going to do exactly what you do, can you guarantee that's going to work for me? And you'd be like, no, I can't guarantee that, So it all comes down to that whole trust thing, which is really, it can be hard. It can be very hard.
Yeah. I mean, so what are some of the other things that you help people with, and really trusting themselves, trusting that impulse of their soul and what it's trying to lead them to share and serve, or to do, or whatever, like, even what is even the definition of soul leadership first, and then how do you help people to step into that?
Well, so for me, soul leadership is like you're leading from your soul when you're really tapped into your essence, the core of who you are, right? When you're tapped into that, the truth of who you are, that's when you actually experience more, I call it PB&J, right? It's more peace. Like you just feel peaceful, even in stressful situations. There's this calm that comes over you. You also experience more bravery to do things. I know a lot of times when we're not connected to our soul, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of not feeling courageous enough to speak up for things that you might want to say, or not setting good boundaries with other people, things like that. And I think a lot of that comes because we're so afraid that we're not safe, because we feel disconnected from others. You know what I mean? Like we feel disconnected from our soul, which often leads us to feel very afraid. So when you're soul connected, you don't feel that same amount of fear. It's a very different experience. And then you just feel more joy. So being a soul leader means you're tapped in, and it's not like you flip a switch necessarily and you're just always plugged in, you're always tapped in. It's just like, we're here in this human experience and we forget all the time. It's kind of part of being human. You can tap in, and then the next morning you wake up and you've completely forgotten what it was like. And you have to have tricks and tools to remind yourself and get yourself back there. So that's why it can be great if you have a routine or something that helps you remind yourself to get back there before you start your day and kind of go down all the different rabbit holes that social media and the news or whatever wants to lead you down.
Right.
Did that answer the question? I hope it did.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Good question.
The first part of it for sure really nailed that. And so yeah, I mean, our mind is separation is constantly like giving us bait to take, right? Hey, don't you want to read all this stuff on your social media, and you might miss something after all, all these temptations, right? And we're constantly, most of us constantly are taking the bait, even if we're mostly following our intuition, even like we're constantly taking the bait, like, oh, sure, I know, I probably, like you said earlier, same thing, but even in smaller ways, like, okay, I know I probably shouldn't be on here right now, but I'm gonna do it anyway, like so people do that all the time, and it's all okay in a way, but then again, it's like if you realize, man, I'm infinitely connected with source, I need to really nourish that a whole lot more than my social media feed, like things like that, right? Like then it starts to change, or to even stay connected while you're going through your social media feed, right? And to be so led, like in everything, like that's to me is like kind of sort of everything, like
right. And it's not easy to do, it's just like I said, there's always this forgetting, and then it's just remembering and trying to get back to that place. And there's lots of ways, and it's never like you want to beat yourself up over it, right? Because we all do it, and life is kind of designed for us to forget in a way and be disconnected so we can get back there. So, I mean, that's why I created my community, just so it would be like, instead of waking up and like getting on TikTok in the morning first thing, or starting to play those really addictive games on your phone, which can be fun, but like do this little soul connection thing first. And then you can move on to whatever next you feel is best going to serve you. Right. So that's the vision for the community. Like, here's something quick you can do, or here's how you can remind yourself. Just remind yourself of the truth of who you are and go about your day.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. So it would get really specific about how you help people. Let's talk about your business and what you offer and all that sort of stuff. And then as you're telling me about this stuff, then I can start, getting some downloads a little bit while you're talking. Then I can do the formal scanning into everything, into, channeling, downloading, whatever, however you want to look at it. And go through your chakras and all that sort of thing too. So you're ready?
Yeah, I'm getting my pen out too, though. I'm going to make sure that I don't miss anything really juicy here. I'm ready.
Awesome. So tell me about where you are with your business. How long have you had this going, and what do you, I know you have like a membership sort of portal, and so tell me what you've got, what's going on with your business. What do you offer right currently?
Love it. Okay, so currently I have one offering in my business. It's called Soul Connection Community, which
Mhm.
is a membership program. It's like a month-to-month membership. And that's the portal where, again, it's just for daily reminders of the truth of who you are. And then having that kind of community, because I've learned that there are a lot of people who are on this journey and maybe it's kind of new to them, kind of getting into personal transformation or personal development, self-help kind of thing. And they don't have people in their lives currently that support them on that journey. And that's really hard. It's really hard when you don't have other people who are like-minded in that way, because they can really bring you down. So that's an important aspect of it as well. And that's my vision right now, is just really to have a low-cost community where people can go and share, and not necessarily just be there to learn from me. It's there to be in community so that we're all learning together, we're all evolving together, we're on this journey. I'm never have been about in any of my businesses about, or even in fitness or anything, like, hey, it's one way to do it and this is the way to go about it, and I'm going to give it to you. It's just never been about that. It's like, let's find what's best for you and lean into that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a comment on that last thing you said. It's like so many people have, been told that there are rules and you always got to do these things this way or that way, right? And so I think that's amazing, because as I tune in, like just overall, I just feel that energy too. Like that's like part of your story, right? Like you're told, it's like this and it's like that, like, and like kind of we all get that, and maybe some of us a little bit more strongly than others for sure, but it's there for all of us. And so when we start realizing, like, wow, maybe all this stuff isn't so true, and like there's, what if I just honor what I know to be true for my soul connection? Now what's possible, right? So like that's beautiful that you have a community where people can be reminded, every day, because I've gone in there, and you've got the all kinds of different areas in there, but like you've got like almost like a social media feed, but we're not getting all the good stuff right in there. So all those good posts, and looks like other people are able to post in there and to share, and so it's like one beautiful community where we can share all this great energy. And then you have your specific things and courses and things like that, or different things people can get involved with within the community. So I really appreciate it. You've set it up to where it's separate. It's not like, okay, you've got to go on Facebook and deal with all that stuff. Instead, we're going to put you in this beautiful space where none of that noise is, and put you right in this community. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, that was really important to me, to kind of remove from the whole Facebook. I mean, I've been in so many different Facebook groups. I'm sure you have too, even for paid courses and things like that. And it just, like, once you go down the Facebook rabbit hole, it's really hard not to get distracted by a million other things, right? So yeah.
Oh, I find it impossible. Like, because we're visual, like they know how to deal with that, right? So you got pictures and this and that. I'm like, every time I go in there virtually, like if I don't just go right to Messenger, but if I'm going in there and then I go to my messages from Facebook, I forget why I'm even there. There's so many pictures of my face. I'm like, why did I even come in here? Oh, let me look at that post. Let me look at that. Oh, let me chase that. It's like a dog, that all of a sudden sees a rabbit or something. Let me go chase that now.
Squirrel. Yeah, squirrel.
Right, squirrel, yeah. So it is. It's wild. So yeah, okay. So you've got this community now. I'm guessing you did this obviously because you were soul guided to create this sort of community. Is that true?
That is true. I know, I kind of sigh because it's like, I did have this really successful business. I was making good money.
Yes.
And this came up. It wasn't something I planned on. The last business I was in, I actually enjoyed it. It was marketing, like I said. And I totally vibe with what you were saying earlier about, like, we're told to do things a certain way, and marketing is very much that way, right? It's very
Mhm.
seductive. People come out with these blueprints or formulas and all these different things on how to succeed. And the way I ran my business, like helping others with their marketing, was contrary to that. I mean, I'm a marketing geek. I love learning about marketing. I think it's cool to learn all the different techniques and stuff to a point, but I used to follow, like, okay, I'm going to follow this blueprint and assume it will work for me. And you can't, so I don't want to say that there's no value in those. There is value, but then you also have to trust yourself. And so for one of my clients, we're doing a major launch, and I just would trust myself and my intuition. And thank goodness she trusted my intuition as well, because I'd come to her with ideas. I'm like, I know this isn't mainstream marketing, but this is what's coming through. And so we would do it. She had the courage to let me to do things, and it always paid off. So this new business, so things were swimming along very nicely, Daniel. And then this came along. I actually met my current coach. Her name's Allison Roberts. I met her just randomly on another call. She was being interviewed by somebody on Facebook. They were doing a Facebook Live, and I'd never heard of her, didn't know who she was. And I knew the person who was doing the interviewing, and they were doing their thing. And she said something, I can't even remember what it was, but it really blew my mind. It was about mindset. And it really made me stop and pause. And so I put a little comment in there that said, wow, mind blowing. And Allison's an intuitive, and she's like, she paused and she said, she read the comment and she goes, she goes, wow, I feel that there's a big calling on her life, and she's using excuses to say no. And I'm like, who is this lady? Like, she doesn't even know me. Like,
Right.
but in my heart, I knew, like, wow, she totally sees right through me. Like, right. So, and I was intrigued about this. There's a calling on my life, because I felt it and I was definitely ignoring it. So I had a conversation with her and I signed up with her, and she's been my mentor for 2 years. And so it was her, under her guidance, that she's like, I really do feel like there's something bigger. She's like, I'm not going to tell you what it is, and you're going to figure it out. And that's where this business came along. So when I started working with her, I actually even said, I don't know why I'm hiring you. Things are fine, but I'm going to trust my inner knowing. And it says to do it. So I'm just going to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good point to bring up right there. Is we have to be cognizant that our minds will say that a lot, right? Hey, I'm doing well, I'm doing fine. I've heard that from so many people that were thinking about, well, maybe not thinking about it, but considering even a little bit, maybe working with me, and they're like, yeah, but then again, I'm fine. Everything's going good and everything. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what about what we just said 5 minutes ago? How everything's falling apart and all that part. Like, oh, but no, it's good. It's all yeah. It's definitely resistance. The walls come up. So God bless the guidance that we get from all sources. So that's amazing. And so you followed through, and then you got this guidance to do this. And so so how much is it to get into this community?
So monthly it's $22.99.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, and is there an option to pay for a whole year or anything like that, or?
You can do the annual payment. So I was guided. I like numbers and like numerology. I just kind of dabble in it. I'm definitely not an expert, but I was told, like, it should be $22.22 a month. But then the portal that it's in won't allow, it has to be 99. Like, it has to end in 99. So it's like $22.99. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And for a year, it's 222. It's like 22. It's 222.99 for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all I have. I definitely plan on doing retreats and workshops down the line. But this is all I'm working on and focusing on right now.
Okay. And do you have a few members that are paying already, or where are you at with that? Okay.
Yeah. So I just launched a couple months ago. I launched in the summertime, and kind of did the soft launch to get people in and get feedback. And yeah, so we just started getting paying members. just recently.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in there a couple months, I think.
And you're great with marketing, so you probably anyway have some sense of a launch plan or something, right? Or a way to get it out there.
Right. Although I will tell you, to be totally honest, I'm hitting some of my own stuff, right? So it's like, it's so fun to do it for other people and launch them. And then I've been coming up, this whole journey has really been about my own soul work. So a lot of the soul work still, because my innate, like when you read my bio, like, I'm not kidding. I had a lifetime of like guilt and shame and not feeling worthy. So that will still pop up every once in a while. And it's my ego. Like, I know it's my ego trying to keep me safe and doing what you said, like, hey, things were pretty good over here. Like, why don't you just stay safe? Like, why are you putting yourself out there where there's trolls and all kinds of things that could, hurt you in some way? So yeah, so the planning of the launch and the growing of the business hasn't been as smooth and easy as it probably would have been if I'd been doing it for you, for instance. If I had been doing it for you, I'd be like, here's the plan and here's what we're going to do. And yeah.
So maybe there's some more clarity that can drop in today on that. So what is the plan to get it out into the world, like, so far? Like, so you've done one part of it. What's the next stage that you're aware of?
Okay, so definitely going to get some help so I've made a lot of friends, like, over the years that I've been in the business. I've made a lot of friends with people who own their own businesses. So they have agreed to promote me as well. So they're going to promote me to their lists. So that's one aspect of it. And then social media, organic and paid. So I'm planning to do a paid ad campaign, probably in, not Facebook. I'm not feeling Facebook, but probably in, actually, interesting enough, Pinterest is where I'm being called to do it. Pinterest, Instagram, maybe TikTok. I think TikTok will probably be just organic though, and not paid, but we'll see.
Okay.
I'm open. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Instagram for you. Pinterest I could see too. So yeah, you're on that feels on point so far. So, and then again, we'll see, right? So it's an adventure. We'll see how it works out. Okay. All right. Just settle with everything for a sec. So will there be ongoing promotions from, your partners, your friends out there that want to support this? Is it like ongoing, rolling, like, just like, hey, come check out our membership to a call or something, or what's the kind of the mechanism?
Yeah, because it's so low ticket, it's definitely going to be promotion to like a lead magnet, a freebie kind of a thing, right? So they would be promoting that versus promoting directly to the community. And then once they opt in for that thing, so I have an ebook or I have something that's called a digital gift box, then there's the whole, then we get into the funnel, right? So then we get into the email sequence that invites them to the community.
Okay, funnel.
And as far as like ongoing support, like, yes, right now I don't have a organized launch planned, and it's not feeling aligned for me to do that, like get everyone together and launch at the same time. So I have a feeling it's going to be a little more free flow.
Thing for now. Okay, that sounds fine. Okay, let me do some deeper. We're getting what, a half hour plus, and let's do some deeper tuning in now from just what we've gotten so far with what you shared. And yeah, there's going to be some incredible things I think that are going to come through today. So, all right, everybody, buckle up your seat belts. All right, here we go. We're ready to go. So let me just start tuning in. Okay, there's an aspect I don't think you've been leaning into enough, like so do you actually do the energy healing yet?
The only energy healing I've been doing in that community is just some tapping EFT videos. Okay.
I'm getting I'm getting you as you're in the closet to yourself. You've been like master energy healer, like so again, the reason why these launches wasn't only your intuition, wasn't only your wisdom, but it's an alignment that you can bring into the energies for things and people. Like you could bring an energy matrix of whatever connection. It's just the connection is the word that comes to me. So you bring that alignment, and it's just so natural. Like again, we know it for other people, right? But I'm saying for you, like it's so natural to you. It's so automatic. It's so like just breathing that you wouldn't particularly notice it. Maybe you might recognize it, but you wouldn't realize, wow, oh my God, I'm so powerful that way. Like you wouldn't necessarily say that to yourself. But yeah, that is a huge gift. That is a gift that you want to be talking about. You want to be sharing with people, even at the level that you do it now. Like there's an energy attunement people get that walk the path together with me. It's just natural. It's just in my energies, in my circuitry, right? And I can tell you that just from all the people I work with, I've had so much success, not just because I was helping with their marketing, but because of this gift that flows through me. So I would talk about that. That'll help you to claim your worthiness and double down on that, and have you want to get to where you're naturally just saying, just because I am simply who I truly am, it's a gift to the world. Like that. Therefore, there's nothing you always have to do to prove that you're worthy, that you did it right, you did that last community call right, or you did this, because your mind always find a way how you screwed it all up. You say, right? It's just stronger in you maybe than some people, but like it's just like, yep, I screwed that one up too because of this and that and the other thing, and I'm sure people got value probably, but then again, and like that mind that just gets really involved in the details of it. And it's good to get feedback from our inner critic to a degree, right? But when it's on steroids, like, wow, that's just way too much, and to be able to just listen to it, like, okay, thank you for sharing it, inner critic. I'm just so deeply grateful for what. Start to, if you haven't already, you probably have done it to a degree, but start seeing the voice as literally, of course, not you, right? So I just want to reemphasize that this voice isn't even me. Like, it's just like this critical inner critic voice of the universe or something, coming in, giving me feedback, or wherever the hell it comes from. Okay, but it's giving me feedback. I am meant to pay attention to it. I'm meant to listen to it. And I honor it, I receive it, I love it, but I don't recognize it as my own voice anymore. No, I'm done with that idea. No, it's not my own voice. My own voice is much more loving and kind than that voice. So just to remember that, okay? That way you don't have to keep taking on that and be, oh, I feel unworthy. All right. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, there's so much more. Hold on. Seeing those that you're like an earth angel. Like I see those angel wings opening up. And so, okay, so what am I meant to share with you about that? Okay. It's very interesting. Like it's a very welcoming sort of energy. This image that's coming through with that too. It's like, it's an all are welcome, because you've experienced situations of exclusion. Everyone's welcome is a very important value for you. So everyone is welcome. It doesn't matter, doesn't of course, you got to have some community guidelines, but overall, the vibe is totally about honor and respect, but everyone's welcome, as long as there's honor and respect. Then we can keep it that way. So, okay. Okay, let me see what else on that. Yeah, and from that energy, I just get a lot more with a playful energy. You've been really good because what's the word I'm looking? But there's just that steel energy I mentioned earlier. Like you've got a really bottom line steel energy. You're very committed, very dedicated. So like, yeah, we're gonna nail it. We're gonna nail it. We're gonna nail it. So, okay, we've got that going really strong. Now that's a tremendous gift because most people that get into this kind of work, right? You know, like they tend to be ungrounded, much less to have this strong like steel energy in your root. Like not, don't get me wrong, there's trauma. It's not like everything's perfect like for anybody, but there's trauma, there's abandonment, there's all that, but you've got a strong energy, a steely grounded energy in there. And that is so powerful for people that want to do this kind of work to thrive in their business. So that you've got a foundation there. Let's see what else is coming through now. Yeah, so you're going to be grounded, welcoming and grounding people. And they'll feel they're going to feel welcome. And then people will definitely, you will evoke people's wounds though too. They'll be like, man, I feel so down. And so it's almost like the counselor's desk, right? Like everybody, oh, let me talk. So maybe, I don't know if you've been that person in your life, but I sense it's possible at least. Like people come to you and like, oh, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. And then you just listen and listen. And then it's interesting because part of your mind eventually says, I don't want to hear all this crap, like eventually, because you want to actually get results for people. So what's brilliant about you is with that is like you can interrupt people and be like, well, let me ask you some questions. Let's take it this way. That's it. And that's how you are. You get very active in participating with people rather than just listening to their crap, you know, basically like their crappy story. Let me put it that way. So there's a real ability to uplift people because you're able to help them with your questioning and your energy and interaction with them to just move them towards connection and solutions again and again and again. So that's really cool. This deep thing with trust. Okay, let's look at that for a second. Okay, the cross. Now, something about I see a cross and it's going. I don't on a knowledge base know what this means. It might sound horrible, but I see a cross, but it's going upside down. So let's see what that's about. Let's see if I get anything off that. I think it has more meaning to this. Maybe there's more than what I'm hearing so far, but I just get, the fears of persecution for sure. So I think that's partly why they're showing me turn it upside down, but we want upside down cross. We need to look that up at some point because I'm not landing yet with more with it. Let's see what else comes through. So you're just beginning to fully, more fully awaken to like you're much more than than your mind is ever understood, right? So all the practices that you're sharing in this portal, or a lot of them, whatever, a lot of them need to continue to expand people's awareness of who they really are on every level. It's on an energetic level. So the more you can bring them into guided experiences with that and through the transmissions, that you'll start to bring on a more full conscious, like direct energetic level as a energy attuner and energy healer. That'd be great. I would say don't start with courses necessarily, but start with intuitively, how do you think that, how it works for you? Like, how do I do energy healing? Let me, rather than being like, okay, we got to study on that. We don't know shit unless we do a course. Okay, how about if we just trust your natural gift and see what happens? You could always take some more courses later or take maybe a basic course to get started, some basics around healing if you haven't already. And then just horse around. Don't think, okay, we got to study everything all the time, releasing that pattern. Okay, let's take a look. The business, a little more on, we haven't done a lot with the chakras. Let's see, the business, what wants to happen there? Okay. Okay, so there's going to be, I knew there'll be some things you're not, maybe, maybe you like everything I say, but you may not like some of the things I'm about to say. So just a warning. Anyway, so I get like this membership thing and everything. I kind of get like, oh, it's beautiful and it's okay and, great. But it's also like, there's still like a playing a little smaller, a little safer maybe is the best word. Let me just play kind of safe with this, start it slowly, let's not get too crazy here. And so that's part of what I'm getting on that, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just something that I'm bringing into more awareness that I'm picking up on. And let's see if there's something, I don't get to abandon it, obviously, but let's see if there's something else that wants to shift. Okay, so what's being asked? So what if we didn't need to be safe? What's happening now? I don't know. Maybe you get new highlights in your hair or something like that. Do something more, look a little more wild, and maybe you'll get a little more sassy, So I think sassy would work well for you, actually. Like, yeah, more sassy. Maybe you do it more privately, right? So I'm getting you to do it more privately, but bring it public more. It's okay to trust that some of that little sass that you can bring into it. People enjoy it. It'll help knock people out of their stories too. Let's see, what else? Okay, what's next? Yeah. I keep hearing like a concierge. Now, again, I just channel things. Don't blame me. Okay, but I get this concierge energy, and it's like concierge to the stars. Like people who are in the spotlight, the starlight. They may be in the usual industries you're used to, but they also may be in the spotlight in other ways. And I kind of get, like the people that feel unworthy, they struggle with maintaining their connection with source. And you're a concierge to make sure that they're getting connected, that they're living their soul leadership. And one of the ways to help them with that is really you have an ability to really be able to see and perceive what's really happening for people and to simplify what they're trying to say. Well, let me tell you, this is what's going on in a few sentences. You can say, like, you make it, this is what you're saying, right? Like, and just strip it down to the basics. And that's really, that's what I'm saying. Okay, great. Well, let's work on that. Let's get to work on that. Then whatever coaching you do, you can start with that, throw in some energy healing, and then it's sort of like you're sort of channeling answers for people and helping them to channel their own answers. And let's see, what are they saying? So you're up leveling their connection ultimately, and then there's a sense of peace and ease and ability to make some new choices, to going down some of their new pathways that have been being guided to that they haven't been trusting fully. I don't know why, but John Travolta keeps coming to mind. So I like to share these things sometimes, the specifics that are the images I get. So all your worthy, and the reason why it's great to go for those type of people is because it'll trigger all your unworthiness. So it's perfect. So like just get in the mud with all that unworthiness, like bring it on, So so anyway, let's see if we get anything else on that. No, they're saying no, they're saying, let her digest that a little bit, and we'll come back to it later if we want to. Okay, let's see. Real quickly through the chakras. So this isn't a 2-hour show, but like, okay, crown chakra, there's definitely like an opening in there, but there's still that headspace that still wants to, like, we're still in control, right? And so it's softening, but it's still desires to try to control. Increasingly, it can't have the level of grip it had in the past, of course, but it's still around. So like, come on, the way we should be doing things, and then you're like, nope, but it keeps insisting at times, right? So I hear that. let's see. Okay, let's go to maybe the third eye energy. Okay, there's some more, actually a little more, I perceive anyway, a little more opening there, a little more breath and flow. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like it's really focusing on now anyway. Like the past would be like, let's look for all the problems, but it's more like what's nurtures me, what's taking care of me, and it's really a nicer energy is coming in now. Let's see what else I perceive there. I just kind of keep breathing and keep breathing through your third eye, and like just keep breathing. Come on. So all right. Yeah, I keep being guided back to share with you just I mean, you were doing like the right work in a way with this marketing. It's just the specifics don't suit you anymore necessarily. But I guess I hear like king, queen maker, right? You help to make them into what their potential is in that way, to have that sense of dominion and fulfillment and standing in their radiance and their power, of course, in a deeper way. So yeah, so you bring a lot of love and compassion to people through even the third eye. Like there's a lot of like little telepathic things that maybe you don't even know are happening all the time, right? Just look, hey, you're good. I feel that. And then let's see. There is something about you though that I'm not saying you're trying to be this way, but I hear like, yeah, what if nobody could read me? That'd be good. Don't see me, like I'm picking up on that energy right now too. Okay, let's see. Okay, throat chakra. I feel like there's a dragon that wants to come on. It's like, it's about damn time. Let me out. Okay, so yeah. So your truth. Just remember when you bring things bluntly, like you have, I'm sure, through your career, but just keep trusting that more. Sometimes when we go spiritual, it's like, okay, all right, we'll soften it up. But no, if anything, bring more of the dragon. All right, throw that crap faster. so it's a gift you have. Again, at fire and steel, I mentioned at the top of the show. So let's see. Okay, let's expand more. Okay, so the opening is not it's kind of narrow. It wants to open more. Could get really into it. Maybe not, don't have full time for that today, but yeah, the tension in the neck. Okay, so yeah, your full expression, like what, just really being an intent. I want to be of my full expression in the world. I'm willing to trust it, even if it means death to me. Thank God, death to the false self anyway, right? So, yeah, okay, all right, good. So self-expression, fully self-expressing yourself, I believe is gonna need to be part of your message. So it's about soul connection, but it's also about loving yourself, yes, and then it's about your self-expression and realizing you can express who you are in every single way, every even peculiar way. Okay, all right, like that. All right, let's see, hearts. See some guarding there. Of course, you're a beautiful, loving person, but there's just a guard, like, yeah, just that people might want to take from me, people taking advantage of you and just feeling like, okay, now get away. I'll be really watching you really close, and then we'll see. And so there's some of that in there. Again, it's not, everything I'm saying isn't like in every scenario you're exactly like this, but like there's patterns in there. Okay, so yeah, just a lot of betrayal energies, past lives, this life, to being betrayed. Just coming to peace, saying here, you're all for that, all up as to source, like just like burn it in the eternal fire. Like, okay, it's okay. It's okay. I'm whole, I'm well. Okay. All right. So power center. Yeah, just the pushing energy is a bit much for sure still. You're getting better at relaxing and trusting the flow. Calculating, a lot of calculating in your energy. That wants to slow down too, so they can be even more deeper intuitive. And then energy coming through and information, or channeling, less calculating. Not that it's wrong, it's just overdone. And then sacral chakra. Yeah, it's just like the box wants to open wide, like I said before, like on every level. Yeah, just see, like, we need to have way more fun. Okay, I have fun, but we need to have way more fun. So creating this whole enterprise in a fun, delicious way. I would say, like, why couldn't you create like parties, like soul leader parties or something? I don't know, like something like that. I don't know. I get like this party energy. Like, let's party. You kind of got it in there, your portal with the music. You got music lists. And so just really doubling down on that. It's be really, really amazing. Like, you've got all these friends that have a lot of reach, like, what if you had a party? We've seen it constantly in launches, right? They invite their friends, they're all going to give a gift, and interview them all for the wisdom. I don't know if you do that, but maybe something like it. Who knows? Could be fun if you do it in a way that feels good for you. Root chakra, anything else? I mentioned a little bit about that. I just see some of the desire to hide, just like, let's keep it small, let's keep it simple. Maybe we'll get to the big stuff later, but let's just hold it back a bit right now. I've already taken a lot of big steps. Okay. Which is true. Let's see. I don't know. You could answer this maybe later, but I get something with your parents, like there's like a sense of separation. So I don't know, maybe it seems like it's your parents. I get a sense of they're separating. Now, I don't know, something about a separation, then it's like, it's a feeling of like you feel now maybe between your mind and spirit, like at times, but like, okay, they want me to please both of them. They're both at odds. It seems like. So maybe what if they weren't at odds with each other? Like, whether it's, your parents, or it's just a metaphor for your mind and your spirit, be like, okay, maybe they're both just coming from different angles and are both trying to tell me the same thing ultimately. And I get a big yes for you. So to ground that in, okay, they're both, nothing's contradictory. It's all trying to bring me into the same direction. Thank you, God. And so it is. I just feel like just start to wrap up with this scanning is, I just feel like you may not want to do it, but like, I feel like doing that, probably concern is going to take you down old pathways, but like doing that higher end, maybe even super high end work with a few clients seems like it could be really amazing. And then you just, where your lack of confidence is, to just be like, yeah, it's just a matter of getting it so that you feel like, oh, I can do that, right? Because your mind will come up with all the reasons why you can't, but we just need to calm that down. So anyway, all right. So, all right, Kim. So a bunch of stuff shared. Oh my God, I need to start setting a timer on these things. Oh yeah. So reflections, thoughts, etc.
Wow, that was a lot of information. That was like a wealth of information that you just gave me, and I was writing furiously. Definitely will listen to the recording. And can I ask, who are you channeling, or what? Where is this information coming from your end? I'm just curious.
Primarily, I just say, well, it's coming from source. It's every once in a while in a scan. Yeah, maybe some of it's coming from the sense of a certain being or whatnot, but it's just from source.
Yeah, no, I totally, it's just like, eh, you know, everything you're talking about, it's like, okay, where are the cameras? Like, because Source is watching me all the time. Well, that makes perfect sense. And they know exactly what's going on with me. And they have obviously such a good relationship with you, and they're happy to have you channel it, because it was like, well, that's spot on, and that's spot on, and that's spot on. And yeah, I know you definitely, everything in there was valuable. You got me, and I'm like speechless, because like we could do another hour just to kind of debrief like everything you said and what that means. Except for the John Travolta. I'm not sure about the John Travolta comment.
Who
That
knows?
one I haven't
Maybe you're
figured out
about
yet.
to depossess him of Scientology or something. We don't know. We don't know what's going on with John Travolta. We don't want
know.
that, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's incredible. It's incredible what a gift you have. And thank you for sharing that with me, because it's just, I know it's like even messages you were saying to me during that, it's like, this is what Source was already telling me today. Like it was telling me earlier. It's like, okay, we're going to reinforce it because you didn't seem like you really took it in. So let someone else tell you. And yeah, so that's just amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
Awesome. What's the number one thing that I shared with you that like maybe all of it does, but like take one. What's one thing that really popped out? You're like, oh my God, I gotta start paying attention to that a lot more now.
You know, the first thing you were talking about with the whole energy healing and like that, bringing that energy, like that was just like a wild revelation. It's like, oh, like, because when you said it, like I felt the truth of it, the resonance of it. And I'm like, that never occurred to me. And now I'm like, oh, that's why I've been able to do that. Oh, that makes sense to me. But you're right. It's not something I consciously did. It's just something that happened. So I really want to inquire into that more and really sit with that. Like that's the biggest revelation for me. I mean, I just really have to sit with that and just give myself credit, because I think that's one of the things I do is I don't give myself enough credit, you know, for things. So that's where the self-doubt comes in. It's like, oh, that's no big deal, you know.
Right. Well, like what I just did, if I listen to my mind, it'll be like, yeah, it's no big deal. You downloaded a few things or whatever. Like, really, that's what my mind would tell me, right? You know, but you know, at this point anyway, it can be, you know, usually anyway, with especially this work, like with this area of my life, I'm like, yeah, okay, it always comes up that idea, but so just to let all that go, right? So that's great. So yeah, there's a lot to lean into potentially there for you, and I'm grateful to share it all with you. And is there one change you think you'll make based on what came through? Like literally you're already decided, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do, could be small, could be big. Is there literally one thing you're like, you know what? I'm going to say yes to that. I'm going to change that.
Definitely the party energy, bringing the party energy in, I think. And that was something my guides had told me today. It's like, you need to have more fun. Like you really need to ramp up the fun. So yeah. And I thought that meant just for me, like I just needed to have more fun, but to bring it into the community makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that would do wonders for your community. Like I know it would like I'm in there, and like I know like you're like you put a party atmosphere in it, like it'd just be that it'd be 10 times even more attractive. Like it'd just be like, whoa, all right, now we're a party. Okay. Well, you know, so the people that you can help and want to be helped by you are going to be looking for that. They're looking for it. Oh, it gets all too stuffy and serious, all the spiritual stuff. She's not so serious all the time, you know, but she's serious enough at least, you know. So yeah. Okay, cool. Well, we could go on and on and on and on and on. You know, so yeah, but we're gonna leave it there at the moment. And just for the audience, maybe for you too, but like just everybody, like this is typically how I start with people. We do a scan, we investigate some things, and then there's like, wow, you know, there's a lot of different areas that we could explore and you know, find energy alignment with some of these things that are coming through to line up with what you're really here to do and at the next level and prosper doing it. So But yeah, thank you for being willing to come on today. And I know like a lot of people might be really interested or curious to stay in touch with you or reach out to you. Could you tell them about how they can do that?
Yeah, definitely can go to my website. My main website is my name. It's kimnishida.com. And I'm always offering like the free ebooks or free gift box, different things that I'm trying to create. I know a new meditation is coming very soon. So that's the best place to go to check out what's free right now. And then that's going to lead you into an invitation to join my Soul Connection community.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay. We'll put the link in the show notes and for people that are able to again access that on the platforms they're on. Otherwise, you have her name. You can see her name for sure. So just put that in and, go to that URL then. So, yeah. And then for me, if people want to check me out, it's all about tuning in, baby, right? On my end as well. So we want to meditate, make money, go to yoursacredpurpose.com today. All right. Gotta have fun, right? Go there and take advantage. Gonna be here. Listen, if you can either listen now or you can listen later, because meditate and make money is coming to an email box near you soon, probably, because I'm planning on knocking on a lot of doors, because I'm telling you, when you listen to meditate and make money, you continue to go with it. It's going to bring you deeper levels of awakening, and it's going to pour in prosperity and opportunities for you. And at least that's what everybody's, what I experience and what other people experience that are taking advantage of it and using it, of course, regularly. So check it out at yoursacredpurpose.com. And there's always opportunities to look into working with me and get an energy scanning for me there too. All right. So Kim, any last words of wisdom you'd like to share with the audience today?
I just want to thank you, first of all, Daniel, that's a gift that you just gave me. That's just like mind-blowing gift. And like when you said about that program, like you can listen now or you can listen later, it's like, why would you wait? Like, why put it off? Do it now. So that was, thank you for sharing that with me. And just, I think we're being called to get back to our soul connection. That's the journey we're all on individually. And that's why there's so much stuff going on in the world right now, because people are feeling that disconnect. So there's nothing more important you can do than to do that work, to just remember the truth of who you are. And you're beautiful. So
yes. All right, that's spiritual rock star style right there. All right. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm just so grateful, so happy that Kim shared about her work, and we were able to, she was willing to have me dive into tune in for her today. And so thank you for tuning in, everybody. Keep on tuning in, as I say, and we'll keep on rocking here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time, everyone. Goodbye for now. Listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.